You're watching Hawkeye News with Christian Henson, Natalie Hillary, Sports with Brady Sapp, news coverage from the Junior High Bureau with Lexi Below, and what's new at the WC with India Fernandez. Plus, academic and student life reports with our Hawkeye News team. Hawkeye News, leadership you can depend on. Hawkeye News starts now.
Welcome to the spectacular Halloween edition of Hawkeye News for October 2005. I'm Christian Henson.
And I'm Natalie Hillary.
It's Halloween time again here on Hawkeye News, and we have lots of fun activities to report as well as interesting stories to share.
That's right. Before we get started with this month's haunting headlines, we want to take a sneak peek at this year's feature Halloween story.
We go now to Hawkeye News anchor Kara Miles, who is on location at Reindeer Manor and brings us some ghoulish information on local Halloween events taking place in and around Ellis County this year. Kara?
Thanks, Christian and Natalie, and happy Halloween to all our viewers of Hawkeye News. Last year, you may remember Hawkeye News brought you an exclusive inside look at the Munsters Mansion in Waxahachie. Although the Munsters house will once again be open for its annual Halloween party this year, we have some new information to share. Reindeer Manor has expanded their haunted attraction for 2005. The second and newest attraction is the 13th Street Morgue. Its evil history and shadowed halls now fill the main barn of the manor. We'll also have some information on the world's largest Halloween theme park, Screams. We'll talk about some of the park's highlighted attractions and its 4 haunted houses. Hawkeye News brings you up to date with the latest information on these haunted attractions coming up later in the show. There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
Thanks, Kara. We look forward to hearing that coming later in our show.
Also, we'll have some tips on how to make Halloween a safe and fun holiday for trick-or-treating.
Once again, Hawkeye News is committed to bring you more news and stories from all across the district, as well as in the community with this month's top stories. Once again, Red Oak High School has shown its academic might as Principal Russ Shupman was proud to announce to Hawkeye News that Red Oak High School has 3 National Merit Commended students this year. For more on this, we go to Mr. Shupman for the announcement and presentation.
I'm Russell Shupman. I'm Principal of Red Oak High School, and it's my honor to be here today to honor 3 students who are National Merit Commended students. That means that they have placed in the top 5% across the nation in their PSAT scores. Those tests were taken a year ago. And as I said, the results placed them in the top 5% of the nation. That's out of over 1 million students that took the test. So this is quite an honor and an award to receive. So I'd like to present Mr. Derek Evett, Ms. Megan Olson, and Mr. Alex Palmer as our commended students for 2005-2006. Derek?
This is my mom, and I plan on studying architecture at Rice University.
This is my lovely mother, Paula Allen. I plan on studying biology pre-med at University of Texas at Dallas.
And I have 2. This is my mother, Donna Palmer, and my father, Mark Palmer. And I also plan to go to UTD and either study physics or possibly biology as well.
Fantastic. This is a great honor and recognition for these students. We're very proud of what they've accomplished. I also want to give special thanks to Ms. Moppy Miller, who is there, who represents our counseling department, and our Dean of Instruction, Ms. Susie Taylor, who is also down there, who are great support staff for these students. And we thank parents for being here today and helping honor these young men and women. Thank you so much.
Congratulations to those who received this outstanding award and recognition. You have once again made all of us here at Red Oak High School proud of your academic achievements. We also want to thank Mr. Shupman for providing this story for Hawkeye News.
As we reported last month, several groups around Red Oak have been working hard to raise funds for the American Red Cross in the aftermath of the horrible, tragic hurricanes that swept across Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and even Texas. To get a final count on how things have gone in the fundraising drives, we went to the drive organizers, Mrs. Gresham and Mrs. Dolworth, to see just how much Red Oak ISD students were willing to give.
The National Honor Society came up with a brilliant idea to go ahead and raise money for the Red Cross to do relief for the Katrina victims. When we presented this idea to Mr. Shutman had mentioned to us that many people in the district had wanted to do the same thing. So with the help of the Student Council and Miss Rhonda Dolworth, we put our heads together and all came up with a project together. This project has been done by many different people. Miss Lance did a project in her room.
Yes.
What did you do for us?
Mr. Shutman allowed us to sell like the bite-sized candy for $0.25 apiece, and with the help of Mrs. Cleveland and Miss Rogers and I believe Miss Taylor helped with it. We raised $559.
Just selling candy from the high school. I think what has been most amazing about this project is the response that I've gotten from all of our Red Oak ISD family. The elementary schools have been amazing. Shields did a Quarters for Katrina campaign. Red Oak Elementary called me and they had come up with over $1,000 just out of the blue. It was amazing. I do need to give a huge thank you to Miss Nancy Nelson over at the intermediate school. Miss Nelson helped us set up the account, has helped us really get in touch with the Red Cross and make sure that money gets to where it needs to be. We have come up this morning with $5,866. Well, being that our goal was $6,000, we couldn't leave it at that. So I sent out a shameless plug to the Red Oak High School staff and students. And within an hour and a half this morning, we have managed to raise over $300, which is going to bring our grand total up to about $6,200. So my great thanks go to the Red Oak High School staff, Miss Susan Gatlin in our cosmetology department that donated all of our proceeds for their services. There has been collection going on with the athletics for food for Salvation Army. This has been many people all over our district really opening up their hearts and their wallets and their pantries and everything to do what we can to help those people who have lost everything. So to those of you who really stepped up and took care of business, our thanks. We did a good job.
It is truly awesome to see just how much Red Oak ISD students care about their fellow man in times of trouble. And we thank all of you who contributed in so many ways to help this tragic situation get just a little bit better for so many who lost everything.
It's time now to see what good news is coming from our outstanding elementary schools. This month we only have 2 stories to share, which were submitted by teachers and staff members at Wooden and Shields Elementary. Wooden Elementary celebrates Hometown Heroes. Kindergarten and first grade students recently completed a unit on Hometown Heroes. Special heroes honored included Leanne Brindle and Thumper the Therapy Dog, Red Oak Fire and Rescue Team, ROISD Police Department with Officer Hopkins, Officer Dumbsdorff, and Detective K9 Sandy. Grandparents who also ate lunch and read stories to the students, Wooden Campus office staff, Principal Mr. Selman, Assistant Principal Miss Landrum, Counselor Miss Tony, and Nurse Miss Conkle. Besides hearing from our special guests, students completed individual poster projects recognizing a special hero in their life. This is the 3rd year for first graders at Wooden to recognize our Red Oak's hometown heroes. Shields Elementary holds special assembly. Officer Christopher Bayanez and Officer Lindy Privet demonstrated their trampoline and martial arts skills in Exciting Choices and Consequences Assembly. They emphasize making good choices, such as choosing friends wisely and saying no to drugs, while explaining the consequences of bad choices. We look forward to hearing much more from our elementary campuses as we approach the big holiday season. Next month, we'll check back to see what great things are happening. Thanks to Wooden and Shields Elementary for submitting their stories this month.
This month, we wanted to give students a heads up on many new things happening around our counselor's office as we caught up with Mrs. Miller to get important dates, times, and events coming up this holiday season.
First thing I want to tell you about is seniors. It is time for you to be applying to your college of choice. As of September 1, Texas Public Schools and a lot of Texas private schools are accepting applications. This is the common application for our public schools. So seniors, if you haven't already submitted, come by, pick up this form. You can also register online. Speaking of online, These are the two forms now that you will use for registration for the SAT and the ACT. Those two companies like for you to do it online. The great thing about doing it online is instantly you will know if you have received a spot at your designated place that you want to test. November the 9th has been set as the date for Michael Ward to be the financial aid guru coming to students and parents. That's 7 o'clock Wednesday, November the 9th. And here's Miss Cleveland.
I would like to take this opportunity to remind seniors that scholarship time is coming up. You can come by the counselor's office and pick up a scholarship packet, which will tell you the scholarships that will be available during each particular month. Also, watch the scholarship board, which is on the wall across from the counselor's office. Listen to announcements. All you have to do is come into my office, pick up the scholarship application, fill it out, bring it back to me. I will mail it in on the deadline date, and that's all you have to do. Come see Miss Cleveland for your scholarship applications.
Once again, we would like to thank Mr. Kostar, Mrs. Miller, Mrs. Osborne, Mrs. Hervey, and of course, Mrs. Cleveland for all their hard work and efforts that help us to be successful Red Oak High School students. We would encourage students to really pay attention to this segment for important news from the counselor's office this year, and to let you know our counselors are always there to help, so stop by and see them if you need help.
Once again, that Mighty Hawk Band has shown just what hard work will do, as Mr. Pease reported the successful weekend at UT Arlington marching contest held recently. For more on this, we go to Hawkeye News reporter Catherine Martinez. Catherine?
Thanks, Christian. Yes, that Mighty Hawk Band had a tremendously successful weekend in late September at the prestigious UT Arlington Marching Festival. In October, the Mighty Hawk Band also gave an awesome performance at competition in DeSoto, moving the band up 10 points over its recent performance at UTA. In late September, the band won Best in Class Music Performance, Best in Class Marching Performance, Best in Class General Effect, and first place in our class. Michelle Drum and Manuel Gonzalez were also named Best in Class Drum Majors. In addition, the band was named a top 10 finalist at the event for the first time in history of Red Oak High School at this competition. In most recent news, the Mighty Hawk Band gave an awesome performance in October held in DeSoto. Facing strong competition from bands that have been state contenders in the past, the Mighty Hawk Band placed 4th in class. Way to go, Mighty Hawk Band. We would like to congratulate all the band directors, drum majors, and band members who work hard every day to be the best band in the land. Great job, Mighty Hawk Band, and if you would like to check out more on the band, go to www.redoakband.com. Hawkeye News will keep you updated on all the marching competition and band performance in the coming months. Reporting for Hawkeye News, I'm Catherine Martinez. Happy Halloween, everyone.
Homecoming 2005 was not exactly what Hawk football fans had hoped for, but all the festivities of homecoming still made it a night to remember, as the new king and queen were crowned, and our very own Christian Henson got into the act as well, as she was named the senior class princess this year. Let's take a look back at Homecoming 2005 through the camera lens of Hawkeye News producer Alan Oliver. The event was once again the highlight of the evening, as many came to see the crowning of the homecoming king and queen for 2005. The entire homecoming court looked great as they took their place on the field at halftime, and we congratulate all those students who were named winners for their respective classes. King Robert and Queen Lacey came back to crown the king and queen for 2005. Congratulations to all of those who took part in this wonderful event, as well as all the sponsors and staff and students who made it a night to remember for us all.
This month's District in 60 Seconds is brought to you by Red Oak Car Wash, located at 311 East Ovilla Road.
Happy Halloween, Red Oak ISD. This month we take a look at Red Oak Intermediate at it, getting kicked off with new officer elections, hear about how Shattered Dreams is taking off and running, and a new location for Red Oak ISD PD, all in this month's spectacular Halloween edition of District in 60 Seconds. Red Oak Intermediate added off and running in 2005. Organization sponsor Corporal Byron Hopkins was proud to announce his group had 20 members attend the first meeting of the year for the group. Also, officer elections were held, and we would like to congratulate the new 05-06 added officers. The group will now begin working on their official organization t-shirt for the 05-06 school year. Great job, ROI added. Red Oak High School students getting started on Shattered Dreams 2006. The highly anticipated Shattered Dreams Alcohol Awareness Program is getting an early jump in 2006 as over 50 students signed up to interview for main character roles and were recently interviewed for parts in this year's motion picture. The announcements are expected in early November, and these, along with other 75 students who signed up, will take part and begin work with Alan J. Oliver Productions on Shattered Dreams 2006. Red Oak ISD PD offices moved. Students needing to meet with Chief Lindsay or his staff can now come to the building located between the West Campus and the field house where the new Red Oak ISD PD building has moved. These offices will also host special hatted officers, as well as other Project Success-related programs, along with offices of Red Oak ISD PD staff, and of course a special place for K-9 Sandy. And that's your district in 60 seconds.
Once again, student athletes from several sports at Red Oak High School are hard at work, week after week. We will bring you an update on Hawk football, cross country, tennis, golf, and a special report from our Hawkeye News dynamic duo, Curtis Kelsey and Brandon Scott, all after a word from our sponsor.
This month's Hawkeye News Sports is brought to you by Danny Humphreys at State Farm.
Welcome back, Hawk sports fans. Let's talk sports. We kick off this month with some great news from our Hawks and Lady Hawks cross-country teams as they prepare for district meets before air date but after press time on October 22nd in Corsicana. To get warmed up, the Hawks did an outstanding job to place second in the recently held Lions Den Invitational held at Ennis High School. The Hawks posted a team score of 51, which was topped only by Midlothian. Travis Berlin was second among all runners with a time of 17:43 on the 3-mile course. He was only 4 seconds behind the overall winner. Elsewhere for Red Oak, Hector Lopez was third overall with 17:59, while Matt Walker finished 15th. Gabriel Cicedo and Justin Renfro finished 18th and 19th respectively. Rounding out the team was Brandon Adamczyk and Cody Stratton in 24th and 53rd. The Lady Hawks, led by Melissa DeFrance, finished 33rd, followed by Caitlin Morgan 36th, Valerie Strickland 42nd, Christina Allen 43rd, Jalea Martinez 44th, and Jennifer Terry 46th, and Crystal Daughtry 49th. The JV teams also did a great job as the JV boys finished first and the JV girls finished third. Speaking of teams looking forward to the playoffs, we go now to our dynamic duo of sports, Curtis Kelsey and Brandon Scott, to give us a preview of playoffs in 2005 for our Lady Hawks volleyball team.
Thanks, Brady. That's right. Our Lady Hawks are once again ready to travel a familiar road to the playoffs. At press time, the Lady Hawks are 8-0 in district, with only Athens and Ennis left on the district schedule.
That's right, Curtis. And if the Lady Hawks stay focused, by the time we hit air date for this month's show, the ladies will once again be preparing for another playoff run with what could be another undefeated district record. What?
Sorry. The Lady Hawks have not really been challenged in district play thus far. If the first half is any indication, by the time our viewers see this show, the ladies of the court may have just notched a perfect 3-game sweep against everyone in the district. Not once, but twice. The ladies have rolled over Lancaster 25-5, 25-21, and 25-18, and about the same level of domination against the Lady Tigers at home in the second half of district play. One of the teams that many felt might challenge the Lady Hawks this year was the Maybank Lady Panthers, but once again it was total domination by our Lady Hawks, who pounded the Panthers 25-17, 25-11, and 25-18 at home, and 25-11, 25-14, and again 25-14 at Maybank. Corsicana, Athens, and Ennis had about the same level of success, being shut out each time in 3 straight games by our ladies.
The Lady Hawks are scheduled to take on a familiar face from playoff runs of the past, the ladies from Longview Pine Tree, in a warm-up match scheduled for October 29th at 3 p.m. After Pine Tree, the ladies will begin looking at the playoff brackets to see who will try to be the first roadblock on the Lady Hawks' road to state. While the ladies are not sure at press time who their first round opponent will be, they know they will have the first round to heal up from some injuries and get ready for the second round, as they will be the recipients of a first round bye as a reward for winning the 14-4A title. Some of the teams for our region that look to be top contenders for a state title are Hebron, who is currently ranked #1 in the Dallas Morning News polls, along with a familiar face to the ladies from playoffs gone by Mesquite Poteet, Highland Park, and Justin Northwest.
Well, the ladies have to be proud of the season they have put up this far. We know they are not ready to just settle down with another district title. Hawkeye News will bring you more information on the playoffs in the November show.
Yeah, but for now, Curtis and I have some things to do to get ready for our Thanksgiving report. By the way, what is our Thanksgiving report?
How should I know? You know who our writer is, right? And as usual, Chief will probably give us the script the Saturday before the Sunday we film, just to keep us on our toes.
That's true. But since he knows just how good we are, that should be no problem for us. Well, that's enough of that. It's time to get out of here. So like a hard spike in the face of Lady Hawk opponent, we're going to fly out. Until next month, I'm Brandon Scott.
And I'm Curtis Kelsey. Back to you in the studio. Happy Halloween.
I'm in a skirt.
Thanks, guys. Nice costumes. See you next month. Our next sports cover is Hawks football, and again, while the scoreboards have not shown the success that the football players have hoped for, Hawk fans can see that our players have not phoned in the season and given up. The coaches have to be happy with the effort being given, which shows the true pride of our Hawk football team each time they take the field Friday night. The Hawks had a rough time at homecoming as they faced the #1 recruit in the state of Texas, Sergio Kindle, who had another 100-plus yard rushing game. While this was disappointing to the Hawks, they had nothing to be ashamed of, as Kindle has ran up over 100 yards against every opponent the Wildcats have faced this year. The Hawks were led by Rodney Cooper, who had 17 carries for 49 yards and 1 touchdown, as the Hawks fell by a final score of 55-7. The Hawks would then get a bye week before kicking off district against one of the preseason favorites from District 14-4A, the Lancaster Tigers. The Tigers entered the game with an impressive 4-1 record, and while the Hawks defense would hold up the Tigers to only 88-yard passing, the ground game for the Tigers rolled up big yards and put the game away late after the Hawks had scored to bring up the score of 20-7 in the fourth quarter. The final score was Lancaster 27, our Hawks 7. The lone TD for the Hawks was a beautiful 35-yard run by Terrell Barnett, with a Ben Edwards point after added on. The Hawks had 109 yards passing as quarterback Troy Elliott was 9 for 20 with 109 yards on the night. Leading receivers for the Hawks were Aaron Moore with 2 catches for 40 yards, along with Carl Sherman with 3 catches for 40 yards. Evan Martinek added 3 catches for 23 yards, while Amanda Lopez had 1 catch for 6 yards. The defense was led by several big hits from Chris Williams, who imprinted his uniform number several times on the chest of Tiger runners. The Hawks would then return to Billy Goodloe Stadium to take on another district favorite, the Corsicana Tigers. The Tigers would be in for a fight early and led only 3-0 into the second quarter. After a few failures to convert short yardage plays for the Hawks, the Tigers would score on a 9-yard run and a 32-yard touchdown pass to stretch the halftime lead to 17-0. The Hawks offense would never get back on track, hitting several big plays only to be sacked for losses, closing down many nice drives. The Hawks had another good passing attack as they rolled up 149 yards in the air, while quarterback Troy Elliott would finish his night 20 of 34 for 132 yards. The loss dropped the Hawks to 0-7 and 0-2 in district play, with the final 3 games in district coming up after press time against Ennis at home, Maybank on the road, and a season-ending matchup with Athens at Goodloe Stadium. To our Hawks, we want to say, keep your heads up, guys. All of us who come out each week and support you know how hard you work, and we look forward to some great things that happen in the final 3 games. While sports such as football and volleyball do seem to draw the most fans, a couple of sports that gain very little fan support is tennis and golf. The golf team swung into action on a hot sunny day on October 3rd at the Waxahachie Country Club. Coach Steve Williams reported that the conditions were 15 to 20 mile-per-hour winds, which are not conducive for golf. Coach Williams reported that the teams performed as expected and that the pressure of being the first tournament was evident in many of the players. The teams will continue to work and improve their game in the coming weeks and months, and with the help of Coach Williams and Mrs. Stanglin, we will bring you updates as their season progresses. Good luck to our golf teams this year. In tennis news, Coach Judy Ray has told Hawkeye News that once again, 2 teams top the best in not only the district, but are also considered some of the top teams in the area, and may be considered even state in Ennis and Corsicana. Our tennis teams have battled but fell to the Lions and Tigers in the first 2 matches of the fall season. The teams then traveled to Athens but found the Hornets had a pretty good sting of their own on the court, as the teams fell by a score of 13-6 in matches. The winners in Athens were girls doubles Andrea Harper and Lauren Gwines, the team of Aubrey McClure and Rachel Losack, and girls singles winners Estefany Alvarez, Lauren Gwines, Rachel Losack. On the boys' side, the singles winners were Manuel Gonzalez. The team followed up the hard-fought matches against Athens with a big win over Lancaster. Congratulations to our golf and tennis teams, who are working to notch many more wins this season. We will keep you up on golf and tennis not only in the fall but in their spring seasons later this year. Thanks to the coaches and Mrs. Stanglin for keeping us up to date on all our sports action around the district. Until November, I'm Brady Sapp. Back to you little spirit leaders in the studio.
It's time once again to check in with our junior high reporter Lexi Belote, who has information this month on junior high sports and students helping others.
How are things going, Lexi?
Things are going great, Christian and Natalie, and this month we will see just how good things are going in Red Oak Junior High sports, as well as a one-on-one interview with junior high theater arts teacher Miss Katrina Knight to see how the junior high did in raising funds for hurricane victims recently. The Red Oak Junior High football teams are looking great this year. We're halfway through this season and the team has made many great passes, catches, punts, and tackles. There have been many touchdowns, scored passes intercepted by our team. Let's keep the good plays going and start tallying up the wins. The junior high volleyball teams have done excellent this year. The Lady Hawks A team have won every game and the B team has only lost 2 games. All the hours of practice have paid off. Good job, ladies, and keep up the good work. As we reported last month, Red Oak Junior High teacher Miss Katrina Knight, along with others, headed up a fundraising drive at Red Oak Junior High to help with the needs of several families who have fled to Red Oak in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina. We spoke with Miss Knight about the results of the drive. Thanks, Miss Knight, for being here. Tell us a little bit about your project.
The junior high school theater department and the HADIP department, along with the student council department, decided to get together and raise some money for the families in the local area who had suffered from the hurricane.
How long did it take?
It took us about 2 weeks between going from the grocery stores and going through the cafeteria raising money for it.
About how much money did y'all raise?
We raised approximately $1,000.
So what organization did it go to?
It went to local families around the area. We also gave some money to the high school at NHS to help divide the money around to different organizations such as the Salvation Army, and I believe they also used some money for the Red Cross.
We commend Miss Knight along with the other teachers and sponsors, and of course our Red Oak Junior High students for giving to those in a great time of need. It could have been any of us, and it is great to know our students really do care about their fellow man. I'm Lexi Belote, reporting for Hawkeye News. Back to you, Christian and Natalie.
This month, crime reporter J.D. Foster gives us some food for thought on making this a fun and safe and crime-free Halloween.
What's the word, J.D.?
Well, Christian and Natalie, Halloween is one of everyone's favorite holidays. With candy, costumes, trick-or-treating, and all the parties, it's easy to understand why. That's why Hawkeye News brings you some friendly reminders about Halloween safety tips. Costume safety is a big concern since it is good to be comfortable while having fun. Probably by now you have experienced the problem of having some part of your costume that is hard to manage, so stay away from shoes that are too big, capes or wings that drag or get caught in doorways, and masks that make it hard to see. It's good also to have some part of clothing that is reflective so you, your siblings, or friends can be seen in the dark. It's hard to predict the weather, but trying to match clothing to either warm or cold weather can make the fun last longer. The second issue is where to trick-or-treat. The mall is always good since we know that the merchants have a desire to have us back. Friends' homes are also safe and parties might be really good. Steer away from homes that are not known to you. The third issue is the loot gained from trick-or-treating. Try not to overdo. Stomach aches are no fun. If you do go to homes not known to you, be sure and inspect the candy and never eat anything that appears to have been tampered with. As a special check, you can have candy x-rayed at local hospitals. If you are helping out at home or doing a favor for younger children, remember that Halloween can be scary for kids. Help them have fun, not nightmares. Pranks are a traditional part of Halloween, dating back to tipping over the proverbial outhouse. Pranks should be clever and fun, not ones that cause property damage or insurance claims. Respect other people's pets. Animal cruelty is not funny. Although the class of 2006 is the best one yet, riding that on other people's property is not always appreciated. Landing in court for vandalism or cruelty would definitely not make for a fun holiday. As always, here at Hawkeye News, we want to remind you that this is an opportunity for clean fun and to stay sober and drug-free.
Thanks, JD. That's great advice. Happy Halloween, and we'll see you next month.
Now it's time for our spectacular Halloween feature story. As we mentioned at the top of our show, Hawkeye News anchor Kara Miles is standing by on location and brings us some ghoulish information on Halloween events taking place in and around Ellis County this year, including a revisit to the Munster Mansion and the Screams theme park, as well as some haunting new attractions at Reindeer Manor. Kara?
Thanks, Christian and Natalie. Reindeer Manor has expanded their haunted attractions for 2005. A whole night of entertainment awaits you, including 2 huge haunted houses. Reindeer Manor is the main attraction and is bigger, better, and scarier than ever this year. The second attraction is a 13th Street morgue. Its evil history and shadowed halls now fill the main barn of the manor, and they are opening this once off-limits building to the public for the first time ever. Truly possessed by such devious figures as Dracula. Displaced from his homeland by Turkish invaders long ago, the legendary leader of the Dark Forces brings to the manor his own legacy of tragedy and death. In addition to the main attraction, there are also many other things to do during your visit, from the free movies to coin-operated flamethrowers and everything in between. Reindeer Manor is more than a full night of entertainment in one thrill-packed location with free movies, free parking, free hayride, monster maze, graveyard shows, and games. The manor was actually the second house on the property. The first one, made of wood, was hit by lightning in 1950 and killed at least 2 men inside. The newest addition is a 13th Street morgue. A man named Jonathan Maybrick leased one of the barns for his residence and funeral parlor. The land to the west of the building was used to bury people too poor to afford a plot in the city cemetery. Even though there is much more to the story, 2 reliable paranormal investigators have investigated the building, and it is indeed deemed to be the second most haunted place in Texas. For the guests who scare up an appetite, horrifying potions and ghoulish confections are available at Wolfgang's Chili Parlor. Guests are also treated to spontaneous shows in the graveyard, gallows, and the rooftop stage. Enter the manor at your own risk. Reindeer Manor is opened October 1st through 31st. Visit the website for more specific times and dates at www.reindeermanor.com. The world's largest Halloween theme park, Screams, is located just south of the Metroplex, near Waxahachie. It has 4 haunted houses plus a theme park. Try the extreme Scream. Enter at your own risk. Screams also offers the Arcane Asylum, where you will never know who or what you'll encounter in this facility of gothic terror. The Black Hole experience is the darkest of passageways, but don't scream, they hunt by the sound. Experience your own visions of terror and the Terror Visions in 3D Haunted House. Screams offers something for everyone, from live concerts and entertainment, the Hollywood movie Monster Museum, classic horror movies, karaoke, games, rides, psychics, and so much more. You can roam the graveyard if you dare. There's even a Spooky Hollow children's area, offering a bounce house, pumpkin patch, spooky golf, children's maze, and more. Screams, Friday and Saturday nights, October 1st through the 31st. Also this year, the Ultimate Munsters Collectible, a replica of the house that was seen in the hit TV shows The Munsters, will be open for its annual Halloween party that benefits CASA of Ellis County, working to provide abused and neglected children an independent voice in the court system. Charles and Sandra McKee built the Munsters House replica in December of 2001. Each year, the house is host to hundreds of Munster fans. The house isn't just for show. It's a real house that the McKees live in. The McKees encourage fans of all ages to come out this year for the 4th annual Munster Mansion Halloween Party and help support CASA of Ellis County.
We hope everyone has a safe and happy Halloween this year. And we hope we've shared some interesting ideas with you on how to spend your time trick-or-treating. Reporting from Reindeer Manor, I'm Kara Miles, Hawkeye News.
Thanks, Kara. That looks like a lot of fun. We know that many of our watchers are elementary students who are looking forward to a fun night of trick-or-treating. So we like to remind these students of some very important safety tips to keep in mind while looking for those yummy treats.
For our younger viewers, here are some safety tips on how to keep Halloween safe and fun while trick-or-treating.
Wear light colored clothing.
Don't take candy from strangers.
Have an adult check your candy.
Please, carry a flashlight.
Only go to houses which you are familiar with.
For our high school viewers, remember to watch out for trick-or-treaters while you're driving.
And as always, don't drink and drive.
We also know Halloween can sometimes be a night of mischief for some students, but we warn you that some of those so-called pranks can lead to much more serious problems with the law.
Red Oak and other area police departments will have an extra patrol, so please make this Halloween a safe and fun day for all.
As you can see, it has been a busy season for September and October for our students, and we look forward to bringing you some great news stories next month as we approach the holiday season.
We will be bringing you stories on holiday plans some organizations have, as well as much more from the world of Red Oak ISD news and sports on next month's Thanksgiving edition of Hawkeye News.
Remember, if you have any comments, story ideas, or suggestions, please give us a call at 972-617-4312 or write us at hawkeyenews@redoakisd.org. Until next month, I'm Christian Henson.
And I'm Natalie Hillary. Thanks for watching,
and make it a great day.